Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Rocket Rabbit Commentaries run-through of Digimon World 3. And in this episode, after returning to Central Park, we are going to be, well, going and spending our TP from Leomon, because, you know, that's what we gotta do. But first, I am, despite the fact that I'm using save states to cheat out training, I actually have always done a hard save beforehand for training, specifically because, well, I was originally playing this game, you know, actually on console. And because of that, I am hardwired to think that, hey, I need to do a hard save before I go training, or else I'm just going to end up wasting my TP. So, yeah. We need to rest
Old
anyway because, you know, we're at half HP because we hit level 7, so...
Prepare to save. Activate the saving diodes.
Alright, here is yet another instance of us going through a hard save.
Hey kids, keep a book nearby. You might need something to do while you're waiting for your video gamey games to save.
I wouldn't say a book, maybe a brochure?
Reading material.
Some amount of reading material would be nice. Or, you know, in this day and age, a cell phone, so you can go check Twitter, or X, or Facebook.
Damn it, I have a chess move to make.
Okay, let's see, A2 to A4.
H7 to H5.
Fuck.
Game on.
Wait a minute, I wanted to play as black. Damn it! Alright.
Well, if you...
So, more speed. To be perfectly honest, Act 1 can be done with approximately 150 speed, but if you've got over 200 speed, you're effectively good for most of Act 1 and 2.
That's when I'll jump. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
So as annotation Gerdat mentions here, and as I've mentioned once a bit previously, if you score absolutely perfect on everything, you can get 68 points of any particular stat going through this. Well, the reason why we're not fishing for that is because getting 68 points requires you to get 16 points in all three of the normal ones and score a perfect. And score a perfect, you know, all throughout, which is, the variables are too high throughout the game for that to, you know, be realistic. So I just go for, you know, scoring all four as scoring all four as the baseline. And even then, at the end of the game, when I've actually got way too many goddamn stats, I will end up, you know, sacrificing a couple of training sessions in order to, you know, just speed ourselves along. That said,
while playing the game on easy mode.
I mean, yeah, because okay, easy mode is only technically true because Kumamon gains so much growth in power and relatively high growth in HP. However, the fact that he actually has absolutely abysmal MP growth means that if I were to actually try and build the actual easy mode team with Kumamon, I would never have enough MP to actually deal with both bosses and keep myself alive during you know the dungeon crawling that we have to do later on.
Okay, now with our really high level, let's see how much experience we get now.
No. Kumamon is still a static at 11 experience. It's just that, you know, as Kumamon is leveling up, Kumamon is giving us less Digivolution experience, and I don't actually have the graph memorized for Kumamon because, well, there's only a particular part of the graph that is even relevant towards the middle of the game, and that part ends up saying, hey, just be, you know, slightly more powerful than everyone else, and you can, you know, power grind your way through virtually everything. Yay, power charge. So, Power charges are this game's version of potions. You may notice that our Digimon have significantly higher stats in general than Pokemon would have at this point in the game. This is partially due to the fact that Digimon wants kind of explicitly to be a higher power level setting than Pokemon is, but also because bigger numbers make brain go mushy. So,
exactly. That's the Yu-Gi-Oh formula for making a monster seem powerful versus you got a 2/2. Puny, I say. How about 1,450 attack and 1,200 defense?
And oddly enough, that monster is effectively a 2/2 in Magic.
Exactly. See, it's all relative. Because if you have 800 hit points and I have 1,000 hit points, then then my creature's only 25% more hit points.
Right. So, power charges in this game, as they are the potion equivalent, heal for 250 HP. This is not honestly it's 500 HP, right? Yeah, it's 500 HP.
Ooh.
And because they heal for 500 HP, you'll notice that is, upwards of, that's 75% of our, 2/3 of our total HP amount right now. And, yeah, it's honestly really nice. They get power crept out very quickly, though. And the thing is,
of course,
their upgrade, the supercharges, heal for 2,000 HP. But we're not going to have more than 2,000 HP for a long time.
Right. I mean, they don't start offering you hyper potions in Pokemon until you get to like the 6th gym.
I think hyper potion purchases are unlocked on the 5th gym in Gen 1, actually.
Yeah, which is basically a full restore, because you would have to have a high base HP statted Pokemon like Chansey in order for that to not cover the entire health bar.
But you've got access to Snorlax by then, so there's that. Yeah, because Gen 5 is actually Koga. We're not actually supposed to be bringing up Pokemon so much, Mr. Cloud, but it is.
It's inescapable,
it is
in my opinion.
But because how close the popular perception of Pokemon and Digimon are, how Pokemon and Digimon are related, even though they very much are drastically different games and drastically different franchises at that. Like, I really enjoyed Digimon's World 2, 3, and 4, and I even have even a decent amount of enjoyment from DATS, which is technically Digimon World 5, but not actually Digimon World 5 because it's an anime tie-in specifically. Hey, we got to level 10.
We're away in.
But Digimon World 1 is an absolute fucking trash fire of refusing to tell the player how the fuck to play this game. And although Pokemon Generation 1 has a couple of instances of that, you can usually figure out what the fuck you're supposed to do by talking to people. Digimon World 1 has exactly one NPC to tell you how to do things, and she's not exactly, it's not that she's difficult to find, it's that it's difficult to parse out what the fuck she means by what she's saying. Anyway, here is our first major boss fight, Pharaohmon.
Who is an unknown level.
Well, he's unknown to you. Because I am a Digimon fanboy, I know that Pharaohmon here is supposed to be a Mega level Digimon. However, because of the way that difficulty scaling works in this game, and the difficulty scaling is the incorrect term, but it's the one that I'm actually going to use for this. Because of where Pharaohmon is placed in the narrative, well, he is actually relatively easy for us to take down, specifically because, thanks to us abusing the speed spiral of death, he can only really hit us with his Necromist attack. And although poison actually hurts a lot more in this game than it does in Pokemon, it also doesn't usually immediately kill you. So...
And there's the poison damage. Ew.
Yeah, see, that was, 20% of our HP in one trigger?
Closer to like 15%.
Oh, he did actually manage to hit us with a melee attack.
mean, I understand. Like this is just a matter of like what were you exposed to as a kid, and a lot of times, you know, you get influences from your friends, or your parents made a really lucky purchase that happened to be gold. That it is unfair to Digimon to keep it in the Pokemon world shadow the entire time. That's my biased perspective because of where I come from.
Ouch. Alright, Pharaohmon. Thanks for our first boss fight.
Oh.
However,
My
thankfully,
God.
unlike generations 1, 2, and 3 of Pokemon, after a battle in this game, poison just fades off. Waha!
Oh, good.
That is the case for all of the different status elements that we'll be seeing, and there are a lot of pretty detrimental status elements in this game. But for defeating Pharaohmon, we have acquired the Old Wand. We will never get to use this item, sadly. It is a key item, but it's a key item for a quest that we will never be able to do because of the way that we're playing this game. The Old Wand is tied to the Legendary Weapons quests, and the Legendary Weapons quest specifically requires that you raise... I'm definitely not supposed to go over this now, but, you know, most of the rest of this part is just us doing traversal. There is a lot of fucking backtracking in this game. So, the Legendary Weapons quest comprised of you raising every style of partner Digimon up to level 45, acquiring all of the old weapons, and then finding the associated armor Digimon to those lines with the old weapons, as well as a somewhat random but not actually random piece of equipment that you can combine at that particular NPC in order to generate the first stage of the legendary weapon. And then you have to do this for all 4 different stages of the legendary weapons. I think it's technically 3, to be perfectly honest, but that's why we're not doing the legendary weapons quests, because you have to raise literally every single style of partner Digimon up to level 45. And you might be thinking, well, what the fuck does style of partner Digimon mean? That is, all 3 of the signature Numons, which is Monmon, Kumamon, and Kotamon, one of the 2 or 3 dragon Digimon, depending on how you want to count it, as well as Patamon and Renamon. You need to raise all 6 of those different styles of Digimon, technically 7, up to level 45. And that will allow you to start the legendary weapons quests. The old weapons that you acquire throughout the game, because you will be acquiring almost all of them forcibly, can be used depending on who you're running, but they get power crept out by the end of Act 3. The legendary weapons quest is actually very, very important to do before you reach post game, because if you reach post game and have not yet done the legendary weapons quest, it actually gets much more difficult, because I can't go into that right now. We will have to start exploring that once we actually get our final transportation method. So now that we've defeated Pharaohmon, the next major boss fight for us to actually go do is Master Tyrannomon. Once we get Master Tyrannomon down, then we can use the old claw that we get from him in order to go fight Siru Leader. So,
and in the next part,
we will attempt to continue over to Tyranno Valley. Be safe, everybody.